Yeah, good idea.
Good brother.
My question to you is, how do you said earlier about the Moors, you were talking about the Moors.
Yes.
And that they were the free man of the nation. You know, we still have, we are all Moors, technically speaking.
I'm an African.
You're African. Okay. My thing is...
But I respect my Moorish brothers, though. I got a lot of good Moorish brothers and sisters.
What was I saying? Okay, so we're missing, you say we're missing a link right here. We're missing a link in the middle, correct? Is that what you're saying? Like you said that we can't go all the way back to ancient, we can go back to ancient Kemet, but we're missing a link. It's something we're missing. We can tap into that spiritual energy. We can become one with the Creator. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Each one of us is a creator, right?
Right.
And we're all, how can I say, we all manifest the heaven here. Okay? And so what the Moors are doing, we're putting in the spirituality back, bringing the nationality back, so that we won't be stuck in that, how can I say, in the colorable law.
Okay.
We know that black is our true essence. You know, we know that we're divinity. At the same time, these Europeans have put down things on pieces of paper, birth certificate, and stuff to get us trapped into the system. So what I'm thinking is, the key is, we're missing that nation's flag. Yes, we know Moors. We can't even put our people on we gotta put our people on a pedestal, because the thing is, we can't even limit ourselves to Africa. Because we moved into Asia, into Africa, and named that as one of our nations.
No, that's not true.
Oh, you know, okay,
There's no relic of any human being, and I challenge you on any more. Not with theory, but artifacts. Because anybody can talk theory. Show me the remains of a human being in Africa older than the one, in Asia, older than the ones in Africa, or here, or anywhere else on earth. When you go to the artifacts, you cannot prove it. Only in theory. There is no human artifact in Asia older than the ones in Africa. That belief that we started in Asia is simply not true. Prove it with the artifacts, not with theory.
However, I do want to say that I do believe that with this law, though, with this colorable law, just talking about in this time and energy.
Yeah, I think you can use the science. No, I'm not going to throw out the science, because there's certain things where I believe that whether you're Pan-Africanist like me or more, we can link up on. Particularly the international law and how to apply it to our people as a nation. Do you follow what I'm saying? So I'm not throwing it out at all. I'm simply saying that you don't have to call yourself a Moor in order to tap into that science or use it. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm not throwing it out. I'm just saying I don't have to identify with that in order to tap into that science. And I don't want us to confuse tactics with gold. And what I mean by that is, I can give up my social security card. I can give up my birth certificate. I can give up my driver's license. But does that mean I'm free?
No.
See, I think sometimes because you ain't got these pieces of paper, you're more freer than the next black man.
No.
White supremacy don't put us in groups.
You know, when it's all said and done, you can't say that we're not being active. You can't say that we're not putting stuff on the record. You can say a lot of things. All right, real quick. So we were our rights were infringed on last night as we were traveling, not driving, as we were traveling to so-called Pittsburgh. European pulled us over, and he asked me for a license. What's that? I don't have a license, but I do have identification. But he tried to tell me I was driving. I think somebody else got it. I think the sign got it. But anyway, he gave me a citation that said it was a traffic safety reminder. It was not a ticket. It was a reminder. So for those that say you can't operate or you can't use a land conveyance without a driver's license, I'm proof. Brother Rasil was in the front seat with me.
Indeed.
What happened last night?
They asked for a driver's license.
What'd they get?
They got identification.
Was it driver's license? Okay.
No license.
Did we go to jail?
No, we did not. They didn't even ask for insurance, anything.
Did they ask for registration?
Nope.
Did they ask for insurance?
Nope.
Did they put handcuffs on us?
Nope.
Were we able to go free?
Yep.
And we still didn't have no license?
Still didn't have no license.
And we was in the rental, right?
In the rental.
So again, man, I know the information sound crazy. I know it sounds like, oh my God, I can't believe it, but it's facts, yo. It's facts. I'm living proof. I'm living proof that it's facts. If you use the law and you stand on the law and you sure about what you know, they can't do nothing with you. Nothing. So it's not about Black Lives Matter. It's not about protesting. It's not about any of those things. It's about nationality. See, Black lives need permission. because you're somebody's property and you need permission to do certain things. But when you are a national, when you are a Moorish American national, you don't need permission because this your own backyard. So why do you need permission to go from your mama's house to your grandmama's house? It's like saying you need permission, you need a license to have rollerblades. You need a license to mow your grass because you need to operate a lawnmower. So you need a lawnmower license. Really think about that. Really think about that for a minute. You need a license to travel, but you don't need a license to do nothing else. You don't need a license to go to the bathroom. You don't need a license to make a sandwich. You don't need a license to have children. You don't need a license to do a lot of things, but we need a license to travel. That's unconstitutional. That is not law. A difference between a violation, a code, and a statute. Period. Period. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, all we can do is what we can do.
You follow what I'm saying? Just because you go into the courtroom with a fez on your head don't mean you're going to come out victorious. And again, I'm not belittling because there's a lot of good to the Moorish system. I would never throw it out. Some of my closest homies are Moors. I want to be clear on it. My elders are Moors, some of them in Philadelphia. So I would never throw it out. I'm just saying I don't have to identify under that flag or banner to tap into that same science and use it for my benefit, if that makes sense to you. In other words, we can stand side by side, fight for the same thing, and I still don't have to identify as a Moor. For example, there's white people in America, sovereign citizens movement. They ain't got birth certificates. They ain't got driver's licenses. They ain't got, and they don't call themselves Moors because you don't have to be a Moor to tap into those types of things. Is all I'm saying. You follow me there?
You just have to be a citizen.
But I'm not at odds with you though. I want to be clear on that. No, I see where you're coming from. I see where you're coming from.
The Emancipation Proclamation. Because you know, if you read up on the Emancipation Proclamation, you know that's just a speech made by elected officials.
True.
So if that's the case, wouldn't that mean we still enslaved?
Yes.
You're enslaved whether you call yourself a Moor or not. Because we have no organized power. The world is run on power, not law. When America went into Libya and killed Gaddafi, there was no legal mandate. They did it because who was going to stop them? See, the world is run like a gangster show. Whoever got the mic does what they want. They don't stop and say, let's look at the laws to see if we can go. They just go and do it. When you have power, you don't have to obey the laws. You follow what I'm saying? So I want us to get to the level of power. Because once you get there, then most of the laws that we're constricted by don't even mean anything. Good sister.
Real quick, what can the citizens do to prevent pedophilia from coming out of this DSM-5?
We can't stop it because in a pure majority there's more white folk than us. What we have to do is control the education and socialization of the babies so that they won't even want to be bothered with that way of life. Take them from here and bring them up, and that's how you overcome that.
You got a question, brother? Yeah.
Let me go here, and then my brother right next to him. Yes, sir.
Brother here touched on religion.
Yes.
You said that we're going to practice religion, keep it in the African. What do you mean by that?
I mean that you have to Africanize it, and what I mean by that is you need to add as much of African culture and spirituality to your religion as possible. There's not a simple answer to that because there's various African spiritual traditions you simply have to integrate. Let me give you an example. When I'm in Senegal, my Pan-African brothers in Senegal are Muslim, but their Islam does not look like the Islam here. It's totally Africanized. They do libation and they do all sorts of African rituals that if an average Muslim here who's a Negro saw them do it, they would say that there was kufar and not following Islam. Do you follow what I'm saying? So when I say Africanize it, I'm saying you simply blend them. Even in Christian African countries. I know Christians in Africa who have Africanized their Christianity where they do not throw away grandmother's religion. They simply practice them both at the same time. You follow what I'm saying?
Period. But as long as you black, or as long as you think you black, or you colored, or you African American, or you Negro, you don't have rights. You do not have rights if you do not have a nationality. Period. I can't make it no simpler, no plainer than that. You do not have rights if you do not have nationality. Hey, real quick. So when we was at Avis, right? What did the person that was assisting us, what did he tell us? First of all, where was he from?
Wasn't he from Pakistan?
Pakistan, right?
Yeah,
He was from Pakistan. And when we asked him about how they identify people, what did he say?
They don't do it by color.
By color.
They may, describe someone as being brown.
Brown? He didn't say black. He said brown, right?
Brown, correct.
But they identify by what?
Nationality.
Pakistan. Nationality, right?
So if he's Somalian, he's Somalian.
He ain't black?
He's not black. He may be described as being brown,
but he's
not black.
Okay.
My shirt is black,
but his skin
I'm not black.
So this somebody that's from over east, from Pakistan. I wish I could have got that on camera.
I got the video. I'll post it.
But he said in Pakistan they don't identify people by colors. They identify people by nationality, by the country that they derive from. Africa is not a country; it's a continent.
How do you said earlier about the Moors, you were talking about the Moors.
Yes.
And that they were the free man of the nation. You know, we still have, we are all Moors, technically speaking.
I'm an African.
Nigeria is a country. Somalia is a country. Kenya is a country. Africa is a continent. It's not a country.
How do you said earlier about the Moors, you were talking about the Moors.
Yes.
And that they were the free man of the nation. You know, we still have, we are all Moors, technically speaking.
I'm an African.
What country do you come from? What is your nation that you get? It is right. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, that's why we see quote unquote racism, because people want to play these silly games thinking that people are crayons. So when you act like crayons, we're gonna treat you like crayons. This is what it is. I know it's hard to grasp, but this is why we're gonna have the study classes, so we can break this stuff down to a point where it's not overwhelming, where the information makes so much sense. So it's like, oh my God, what do you mean I'm not black? I've been told that my whole life. You have been told it your whole life, but just because you've been told something, don't mean it's true. You got New Era Chicago, which I applaud what they're doing. I salute those brothers and sisters about what they're doing. But at the end of the day, when you screaming black power, from a connotative standpoint, I know what you mean, but from a denotative standpoint, you saying pale power. You saying bleach power. Because black does not identify people. That's what you're saying. And then we want to know why nobody respects us. You want to know why people come into your neighborhoods and they set up shop? Because you said you black. You dead to them. You dead in the eyes of the law. That's why we got to get nationality. That's why nationality is the order of the day. Period. So again, any organization that's trying to change, that's for, liberation of our people, I understand what you're doing, but you got to get the right concepts. You got to stop calling yourself black. I see you on the field, son. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, stop saying you're a crayon. Stop saying you black. You can't be black. My skin ain't black. Black means pale. Black means to bleach. How we... Hey, Jeremiah, talk to the people real quick.
It is.
Is your skin black?
Nope.
You look like me, right?
Just about.
You African American?
No. Heck no. That's too continent.
You Negro?
Nope. That's
you
not
a
a person.
You a person of color?
Nope. That has no justification in law.
Right.
I'm a natural person. I'm a
you got rights?
being. I have rights.
You don't have privileges?
No.
You got rights?
No, I
you got
don't
rights and
have
liberties?
permission.
You don't need permission?
No permission.
You ain't
I have authority. I have jurisdiction. I am jurisdiction.
You ain't need permission to come here?
No. I have the right to travel.
Did you need permission to get that iced coffee?
Nope.
Did you need?
No permission. I ain't asked nobody.
You ain't asked nobody? Oh, okay.
JJ, right at the corner, straight ahead. You'll run right into it.
Say hi to Facebook Weapon.
How you doing, my friend?
Tell us what you told us in the coffee shop.
I'm a Croatian American under Moorish law.
Say it again for the people.
Croatian American under Moorish law.
There it is. For the record. On the record. Period. Now y'all saw it, right? We didn't make this stuff up. Y'all just saw it live. You just saw it out his mouth. But y'all still want debate? Y'all still want to be black people?
You got a Croatian something.
You got a Croatian telling you that he's a Croatian American under Muslim law. But y'all still want debate? So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, good idea.
Good brother.
My question to you is, how do you said earlier about the Moors, you were talking about the Moors.
Yes.
And that they were the free man of the nation. You know, we still have, we are all Moors, technically speaking.
I'm an African.
You're okay, African, okay. My thing is,
But I respect my Moorish brothers.
right?
Right.
And we're all, how can I say, we all manifest the heaven here. Okay? And so what the Moors are doing, we're putting in the spirituality back, bringing the nationality back, so that we won't be stuck in that, how can I say, in the colorable law.
Okay.
We know that black is our true essence. You know, we know that we're divinity at the same time as one of our
No,
nations.
that's not true.
Oh, you know, okay,
There's no relic of any human being, and I challenge you on any more. Not with theory, but artifacts. Because anybody can talk theory. Show me the remains of a human being in Africa older than the one, in Asia, older than the ones in Africa, or here, or anywhere else on earth. When you go to the artifacts, you cannot prove it. Only in theory. There is no human artifact in.
These Europeans have put down things on pieces of paper, birth certificate, and stuff to get us trapped into the system. So what I'm thinking is, the key is, we're missing that nation's flag. Yes, we know Moors. We can't even put our people on we gotta put our people on a pedestal, because the thing is, we can't even limit ourselves to Africa. Because we moved into Asia, into Africa, and named it.
So I got a lot of good Moorish brothers and sisters.
Yeah, what was I saying? Okay, so we're missing, you say we're missing a link right here. We're missing a link in the middle, correct? Is that what you're saying? Like we said that we can't go all the way back to ancient, we can go back to ancient Kemet, but we're missing a link. It's something we're missing. We can tap into that spiritual energy. We can become one with the Creator. You get what I'm saying? 'Cause each one of us is a creator.